Welcome to the Wrestling Uncensored Summerslam post show. I'm Dave. He's Johnny. You know the deal.
There's Ben.
There's Ben, my brother. AJ, get in here for a second. AJ's in the house as well.
Pack this couch.
There's AJ. So we just saw SummerSlam, and Roman Reigns is the new Universal Champion.
Everyone's mad. Everyone's upset. Everyone thinks SummerSlam was the worst pay-per-view of all time now, I guess, right? You guys laughing, but like that's all I see on my Twitter now is like, oh, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. SummerSlam sucked. Everything sucks. Life sucks. It's true. Like everyone's like, it's the end of the world now.
Avocado soup sucks.
Well, I don't think we're. I'm not freaking out. I'm not really worried about it.
You're not too happy. You're like, oh man, I'm in shock now. I really have to process this.
Well, I am in shock because I thought that Roman Reigns would not be walking out of SummerSlam as the Universal Champion. I'm a little bit surprised. Are you not?
Yes and no. I mean, we knew this was going to happen. Roman was finally going to beat Brock. This had to happen. If anything, when Braun came out and it looked like he was going to cash in and going to make it a triple threat match, you should have been very worried. If anything, you should be happy now that Braun didn't get the cash in. And he still has that one day he's going to cash in on Roman.
Yeah, but I thought Braun was going to cash in tonight.
Yeah, you thought so. You're wrong.
And I think a lot of people did. And I think a lot of people thought Kevin Owens was maybe going to beat Braun Strowman and become the Money in the Bank holder, and maybe Kevin Owens was going to cash in.
Oh, you were definitely dead wrong in that one.
Well,
Man,
yeah, obviously.
Complete squash. Kevin not even close to beating Braun Strowman. Kevin's a joke compared to Braun Strowman. And it sucks for me to say that. I love Kevin, but
Kevin Owens got completely squashed by Braun Strowman tonight. It was not good. It was not good. So, I mean, that wasn't good, right? Roman Reigns is the new Universal Champion. Is that good?
I imagine all these comments you're getting is just like life sucks, Roman sucks.
Well, we can take a look at the comments, and we appreciate everybody checking in on YouTube. We got Wally, our man out in Ireland, top of the morning. AJ, say what's up to Wally. Come say what's up. Wally in Ireland is out watching. Antoinette is watching.
Where am I? Can't even get in there.
There you go. You're in here.
Oh, there I am.
AJ,
Wally.
what did you think about Brock Lesnar losing? You were in shock as well, AJ.
Yeah, I was. I really thought Brock was going to win this match. Watching it from a different perspective, other than you guys like that really know this, like obviously the WWE and all that. I was watching. I'm like, oh, Brock is winning this, and it was just kind of weird the way he lost. Like he slammed everybody. He took the chair, hit the guy with the briefcase, which I thought was really cool. He threw it out into the crowd, and I thought he was coming back to win it, and then he sort of got like taken over and sort of got pinned, which I don't know. It's not Brock. That wasn't a Brock loss for me.
Yeah, he didn't sort of get pinned. He got pinned, man. He got totally pinned. Roman just beat Brock, which I think was expected. I figured that was the move, right? I mean, that was the move to make for Roman to beat Brock tonight. If Brock is walking away and going to the UFC, then the right move was made, and Roman hitting spears on Brock Lesnar. I thought it was going to be a squash early on when he was hitting all those spears, looking like Bill Goldberg on Brock Lesnar when Goldberg squashed Brock in 60 seconds. I thought something like that was going to happen, but, they had a little bit of a match. And then at the end, I think we saw the right outcome with Roman Reigns beating Brock Lesnar. If anybody's going to beat Brock on the way out, it's got to be Roman. The way the WWE is built, the way that they've pushed Roman Reigns, he's their top guy. There's only one guy to beat Brock Lesnar on the way out, and that's Roman Reigns. They did it correctly. The only thing that I'm concerned about is Roman Reigns leaving SummerSlam the champion. Like, I thought Braun Strowman was going to cash in. I thought somebody was going to cash in, and now, we have Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion with, I guess, Braun Strowman trying to scare him and possibly taking that title away for him at any moment?
Yeah, possibly. Ben, thoughts?
I thought it was a pretty good main event. Like my brother was saying, Roman has to beat Brock. Like, they've been building this story for so long that it had to happen. What was really interesting is just how they sort of cut away. Like, Roman did not get a chance to celebrate. There was no pyro. There was no confetti. Like, you didn't really get to hear the audience's reaction. Which
Yeah.
I'm sure was probably negative in the room. They just was like, Roman Reigns wins, and like the little signature. I was expecting Braun Strowman to come in for the match, but he just never did, and that was the end of the pay-per-view. I thought that was kind of confusing.
I think that that was done on purpose.
Well, Braun's hurt, right? Braun's selling what the beating that he took from Brock, and Brock throwing away the briefcase kind of symbolized that we're not getting cash in.
Yeah, but I mean, not just that, not just Brock Lesnar. Like, I thought that was a little bit surprising the way it just ended, you know? Like, when Roman pinned Brock, I thought we were going to get Braun Strowman rising up from the beating he just took to cash in on Roman. But when that didn't happen and they just faded to black, I think WWE did that on purpose so that the whole worldwide audience didn't see Brooklyn's reaction, which I'm sure was booing Roman out of the building. We didn't see a big celebration from Roman Reigns after SummerSlam, and I think that was by design. We didn't even see a post-show from WWE on the network. They didn't do a Talking Smack SummerSlam. They did nothing. That's why you watch us after SummerSlam. Forget the WWE.
Real smack.
Yeah, this is the real talk, right? But, like, they went away from the Roman Reigns thing because they're like, okay, we have to do it, and, hey, Roman Reigns is champion. Okay, good night really quickly, because they wanted to not dwell on it because they know that people aren't going to be happy with it.
Are we just happy it's over now? Finally, Brock and Roman. For years, we've had to put up with this, and now it's done. Finally, Roman finally got the win, and now Brock's gone, and now we can go, yeah, it's cheap, whatever. But that's the only way it was going to happen. But it's over now, finally, after all these pay-per-views, months and months of waiting for this one match. Now we can move on, finally.
We can move on from the Brock Lesnar era.
Yeah.
On to Elias.
Yeah, right? But, like, what's up for Roman now? Yeah, exactly. And I saw a comment from Antonio Bam Bam, who's out in Australia. I think you're in Australia, right, Antonio? So shout out to you. I don't know what time it is in Australia, right? But
It's 24 hours from now.
is it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Tomorrow.
But he says the sheep that boo on Roman are the same fools that cheer Elias. Say no more, Braun is a one-trick pony. Now, that is not true because I'm not a big fan of Roman, but I don't like Elias either, so that doesn't really work out. What was that Elias segment tonight, too? Just a big waste of time.
No Bobby even. Like, kind of sucked. I thought that we were building towards something, and just a broken guitar, and then he gets mad. Just seemed like, yeah, like you said, a waste of time. Just to kill time.
Yeah. And the pay-per-view was not as long as we expected it to be. It was only about 4 hours, and you were predicting it to be like 5. Thankful that it ended around 11 Eastern and not midnight.
Well, the last couple of matches weren't really matches, right? The Ronda match, pretty much a squash. Last match, elaborate squash. I mean, that's it. Yeah, the Finn Balor match.
Finn Balor match was a squash. The Braun Strowman Kevin Owens match was a squash. A lot of matches that weren't really matches.
Especially near the end. We were about probably like 10 o'clock, and we had like 4 or 5 matches left. And then, yeah, you just had quick finishes. Like, okay, well, now it makes sense. Not going into midnight, which is fine. I'm not complaining about that. Keep that up, WWE.
I'm seeing a lot of comments here on YouTube, and I'm trying to keep up with everybody. I want to pose a question to the YouTube audience. What were you guys thinking as far as on 10? I saw some people saying it was like a 4 on 10 pay-per-view. Yeah. Some people had like a 5 on 10. Johnny North, what do you think? And what does everybody else think as far as like how do you grade this pay-per-view? Do you give it a passing grade? I think it was about I don't know. I mean, it was maybe a 5 or a 6 if I'm being nice. You know, it was about a 5, I'd say. It was, halfway decent. Nothing amazing.
The last 3 fights were really good.
AJ, what do you give it?
Like for the last 3 fights?
Get over here.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Whatever you saw.
Get back here.
I can't see. Hey guys.
AJ's here.
I give it like the last 3 fights were awesome. Probably like a 7 out of 10. Is that fair?
7 out of 10.
Or everything.
Like for the whole thing, the whole card. But if I had to just watch the last 3 fights, I think the Rousey fight was like awesome. Like the way she was fighting was like, wow, that was incredible. She completely dominated. What's her name again?
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, she was like completely dominated. And Rousey, like at one point, I thought she broke her arm. I saw like the elbow like coming out of like whack there, and for myself, I was freaking out. Like it was like unbelievable. But that fight, domination. The Brock Lesnar fight, I was disappointed. I thought Brock was going to win it, and I thought he would win it. But out of those three fights, if I was just watching the last three fights, I would say it was a great card.
So AJ's giving it a 7 out of 10.
The whole thing.
The overall card. So I'm seeing different people here. Michael Dupree giving it a 3 out of 10.
Wow.
Antoinette loved it, though. She's giving it a 9.
Yeah, because Roman won.
Expendable Youth thinks it was a 7 out of 10. Alex I think that's Italian. Help me out here. What is that? Francesco? Left Francesco gives it
Captain
a 2.5
Baba,
out of 10. I think that is Captain Baba. Joe Wells giving it a 5.8 out of 10. What's the 5.8 deal? You're not allowed to. No, yeah, there's no decimal points here, Joe Wells. All right. Wally, our boy in Ireland, giving it 6 out of 10. DJ Derek John, a 4 out of 10. Ray Cruz gives it a 3. So varying. You know, some people liked it and some people hated it. You know, some people gave it. The highest numbers we're seeing are like 7, and I think that's fair. It wasn't a 9 or a 10 pay-per-view. Antoinette gave it a 9, but we know Antoinette. She's a big Roman Reigns fan, so forget about that. I'm sure she's happy tonight, but I don't know. I mean, my man Daniel Bryan, you see him wearing a Daniel Bryan shirt. He lost tonight, so I'm not that happy about that. I thought the match was very good, though. And I'll give the show about a 6. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I'm being nice here. AJ gives it a 7. Johnny North?
I'd give it a 5. I didn't get to see the pre-show, but from the main show that I saw, I thought AJ and Samoa Joe was the best match.
That was a good one, yeah.
Yeah, that was just great from start to finish. I really like the story. I love the way that I can't wait for what's going to happen next with them. I thought that was probably the best thing bell to bell.
Disqualification finish in that one.
Yeah, but even with a disqualification finish, I thought that was excellent. Good storytelling.
AJ getting disqualified and retaining the title but losing the match to Joe.
That's another thing with these long pay-per-views. I think you're going to get a lot that you're probably going to like, and then there's a lot you're going to dislike because they got to try to keep it different. You saw a lot of the finishes. You saw a couple of DQ finishes, and it's like, well, that's kind of crappy. This is a pay-per-view. This should end it. But unfortunately, with some matches, they have to keep them going because it's only the start of the 3 pay-per-views for them, like the Bludgeon Brothers New Day.
And like Miz and Daniel Bryan, like I predicted Miz winning the match, and I also predicted on Wrestling Uncensored that it would be with like brass knuckles or something. I said the power of the punch, like William Regal. I actually said that, and it wound up happening with Maurice handing Miz something at ringside, Bryan punching Miz, and then pinning him. That was totally unfair. AJ thinks it was unfair.
It was unfair.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was cheating. Miz cheated. He's a bad guy, that Miz. But it is kind of weird that I predicted the finish there before it happened. It's kind of odd. But, it's just the start of something between Miz and Daniel Bryan that we're going to see going forward, right?
So, Ben, your rating on this show?
I'd give it, like a strong 6. I thought there was some pretty good matches. I really enjoyed Jeff Hardy. Let me get in the frame here. I really enjoyed Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought that was a very good match. Jeff Hardy's swanton onto the apron was a pretty nasty bump. I also enjoyed the triple threat between Carmella, Becky, and Charlotte. I thought that was a pretty good match.
It was good. It was good.
Charlotte, she didn't do... I thought she was going to do a moonsault off it, but she did this kind of like corkscrew, sort of...
Yeah, what was that?
It's like a whisper in the wind, kind of. It was more like a corkscrew moonsault, actually, because she did land. She twisted and landed again to a moonsault. So
it was impressive.
Yeah,
it was pretty nice. I thought that was pretty good. I like that match too. I like the finish. My match of the night, I'd say, would be Miz and Daniel Bryan. Though I thought that match was very good. I enjoyed it from start to finish, and they did tell a good story, in that match and. It was some hard-hitting moments. I thought Miz and Bryan was the best match. Even though Bryan lost, I know that Bryan will get his revenge. And I think Bryan did get his hands on Miz pretty good there. He did manage to hit Miz with some pretty solid shots, which is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Bryan get his hands on Miz hit him and hit him hard. And we saw that.
Yeah, it was very good. It was definitely my second favorite match. And again, there's a lot of good on this pay-per-view. I thought just the problem is when you end it on a low note, you just think overall the pay-per-view wasn't that good in the end. And that's what happens when the main event doesn't deliver for a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't think we're seeing a lot of people saying that the main event was the match of the night, and that's disappointing. You kind of want to see the main event being match of the night. Some people saying that Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke was the match of the night. Some people saying it was AJ and Joe. Some people saying it was Seth and Dolph Ziggler, which opened the card. I'm not so sure about that, but I think there were some decent matches on this, but no one is really saying Brock and Roman stole the show. It wasn't a very long match either. It was pretty quick.
And I have to say the Ronda match was disappointing. I know you liked it, AJ. Yeah, I thought it was very disappointing. This was hyped up as one of the main events, one of the big matches. And Ronda, everyone's been saying that Ronda is like must-see and like one of the best stars right now.
Yeah, but her slams and everything that she executed were like right on the money. I mean, these were like really good moves that she attempted. From like the armbar at the end was like classic. Her slam was like awesome. She actually had her in a really good judo throws were right on the money. And at one point, like I said, she really had her like on a side control armbar, like old school like arm break. And to be honest, it looked like her arm was breaking. Everybody here was like, "Holy shit, that elbow is going like to the left and to the right, and it's gonna break." So if I have to give it to anybody like who really came out and dominated, Rousey delivered. It looked like the two girls like they weren't in the same league whatsoever.
Yeah, I thought that match was really good too. I did like that match. And AJ is coming from a different perspective. AJ's more into martial arts. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. He's an MMA guy. And he's not a big pro wrestling guy, so he sees it in a different... Yeah, you're getting more into it, but you don't really know who anybody is, right?
I get into it when I'm here, like I'm freaking
Yeah, you get into it, but he doesn't really... You know what I mean? He's not that deep into it. So when he sees Ronda doing these moves that look realistic... That's what he likes, and that's what I like too, because Ronda's style looks real. They may not have done a lot, but what Ronda does is totally legit.
Ronda didn't steal the show tonight.
What?
She didn't steal the show.
She didn't steal the show. She wasn't the best part of the show, but I think she had a strong performance.
Yeah,
she's
dominated.
the new Raw Women's Champion, and that's a big deal.
But it's not a match you'll look back years from now saying, like, wow, that was a great match. It was a great performance. And she's been having that. And tonight she didn't.
Well, she had that at WrestleMania with against Stephanie McMahon and Triple H teaming with Kurt Angle, which, that was her first match ever. It was very special. And then she had it at Money in the Bank with... Money in the Bank?
Yeah. Yep.
Money in the Bank with Nia Jax. That was incredible. And this match was not as good as that one. Or the one before. This match was better than her match with Alicia Fox on Raw.
It's worrisome going forward here, though. It's worrisome because, like, if she's going to destroy Alexa Bliss, who dominated on Raw for the past year, if she can just dominate her like that, then who's going to step up to Ronda then?
Shayna Baszler just lost her title. How about Nia Jax again? That match didn't have a conclusive finish, and it was very good. So if you want to see Ronda in a good match, how about Nia Jax?
I'm very fearful because apparently we're hearing the rumors it's going to be Nikki Bella. I think this is just going to go from bad to worse here if this is the case. Alexa Bliss to Nikki Bella, is that it?
Well, I don't know. Is it?
I know you want to see that because you love Nikki Bella.
Look, none of it. Somebody shut up from none of it.
Sorry, AJ's distracting me
He's
here.
distracting you.
You see what's happening?
Anyways, I'm worried about...
Can you settle down over here? AJ's over here. This is what happens, Johnny North. This is what happens when you bring AJ on the show. Me and John are trying to have a serious wrestling discussion. Bring the guns. Bring the guns. No, not for you, AJ. No guns for you.
We're fighting over guns?
I know you guys listen to Ringside Report Radio, so you know about the guns. These are the guns we have that me and Fred shoot at AJ when he's out of control. So AJ is getting a little out of control. We're trying to talk wrestling here, and he's distracting me with all these YouTube comments, talking about shout-outs from different people.
Shoot me.
We should check the YouTube comments,
Yeah,
too.
we should.
say hi to some people. Benoit Dussault says Kevin Owens was performance of the night. Captain Baba asked if we think this will lead to the Shield triple threat for WrestleMania. Oh, by God, I hope not. Antonio Bam Bam agrees with me, thinks Bryan was match of the night with The Miz. Captain Baba wanted to see Elias and Hogan have a concert, or like Elias's concert end the show with Hogan interrupting, hitting a big leg drop, brother, but that's probably not going to happen. And then we're getting different shout-outs from different parts of the world. One guy, Joe Wells, is all the way out in Verdun, which is very, very close to where we are. So shout out to you, Joe Wells, and all our Southwest people. Right in the Southwest. We're in there too right now. And shout out to Nunavut, people from NDG. Oh no, that's Wally. That's Wally in Ireland shouting
Always
at NDG. Yeah. And Wally says he was there when the guns were purchased. That's right, Wally. You noticed, you witnessed a historic moment with the guns. And Ray Cruz wants to see Johnny North versus the Green Phantom. That would steal the show.
He left, though.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So you're not going to see that. It's too bad.
No, he left. Maybe he was
Intimidated.
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe he knew that there was a YouTube show coming, and he didn't want Johnny North to put him on blast and get in his face.
No, what
I
I
just
said is this. I said Johnny North has to fight like Roman Reigns. I think they're the same size, same body type. So this is to Roman Reigns if he's listening. I want you to fight Johnny North because I think Johnny North is going to slam you, destroy you, not even come close. If you think your Brock Lesnar is tough, wait till you fight Johnny North.
I just want to stay for the Green Phantom thing. He'd only agreed to take that photo if we were on the opposite sides. He wouldn't be on the same side as me. He didn't want to be close to me whatsoever, the Green Phantom.
Really?
Yeah, because he's a jerk, because he knows, and I know, and everyone knows, because you can look it up on my match history online. I beat him in the last match we had. It's a fact. It's not like an shock.
I did feel
It happened. It's legit. In 2015, I beat him last match. Yeah, he beat me on YouTube like in 2012. Whoop-de-doo. In 2015, I beat him. It's a fact. The internet doesn't lie.
Johnny. I love it.
And next CRW show, I'm going to beat him again.
I'm sorry, Green Phantom. Man, see, like, Johnny was not this mad when Phantom was here. All of a sudden, Phantom leaves and Johnny cuts a promo. It's weird. When Phantom was here, you and him seemed like the best of friends, no? Didn't they seem like buddies?
Tension, man. I felt tension, to be honest.
It's just that, he thinks he beat me. And yeah, he beat me once, but the last time I beat him. It's just the fact that he gets wrong a lot.
It's pro wrestling, though, right, brother?
Sometimes it gets a little too real.
We're seeing Anthony Plessia says he wants to see hair versus hair match, Johnny North versus Roman Reigns. That'd be fun. Wally wants to know if we had barbecue. No, we had Delalo's, Wally, which you know about because you were there. You and Amy were there. You ate there with us with Muscles and Johnny North. And Wally wants to know who you went to see Kevin Hart with. So Wally's still. And Lucy says AJ is the best.
Woohoo!
Yeah, AJ is the best. So AJ's got some fans out there. Lucy, big fan of AJ.
Wow, you got a fan base. It's awesome.
Yeah.
AJ's over, brother. He's over. So I'm happy to see Ronda Rousey win the Raw Women's Championship. I think it's cool that she's the champion. Brock Lesnar's leaving. Ronda's the new UFC star. She's good, She's
on TV more often.
She's on TV a lot, for the WWE. She shows up. She's a big star. She's a big name. And I guess Brock Lesnar's going away now. So, yeah. I'm not mad about that. And Roman Reigns is the champion. I mean, I know a lot of people are mad, but I mean, well, what did you expect? It was going to happen at some point, right?
I just hope Kevin Owens bounces back sooner than later. And yeah, it looked bad. But man, he took a really good beating. That chokeslam was awesome. Spectacular chokeslam. I mean,
yeah, but by God, he took a vicious beating and it lasted like 2 minutes. He got beaten 2 minutes by Braun Strowman. That does not look good.
Yeah, but it's Braun Strowman. It's fine. To lose to someone like that, it's not that big of a deal.
Zayn lasted longer.
That's true.
That was Bobby Lashley, and yeah, it was longer.
No, against Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman was all like injured and like shaming.
Oh, yeah.
No, you can't do it.
Yeah, Sami Zayn did last longer
more offense
when he
there.
feuded with Braun
It looked
Strowman.
more convincing.
He did last longer.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. But look who's standing and look who's not. All right.
Oh. Sammy will be back.
Hey, Kevin's tough, man. He took a beating, and he'll take it again.
No, he's definitely tough. It's just like, man, the way he was booked tonight, it's hard to fathom them putting him in a big position where he can win a big match. After getting destroyed by a guy like Braun Strowman, where he doesn't even look like he's in his league, you wonder, like, well, what's next for Kevin Owens then, you know?
Yeah, but we started this year, I believe it was Kevin like losing almost every match. And even on Raw, when he jumped to Raw, he was losing every match. But he bounced back. You made it believe he was going to believe he was going to win Money in the Bank. You afraid I'm going to shoot you or something?
I just want it.
Chocolate bullets, by the way.
And the fact that he beat Braun once, it made you believe he was going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. So just a little thing like that, just a little winning streak, and he can bounce back.
Yeah, he could, but like he's not in a great position right now because we're looking at Raw with Roman Reigns as the champion. Braun Strowman, I guess, is coming after him with that briefcase. Is that what we're heading towards? Like the next pay-per-view, who does Roman defend against? Kevin Owens is still the top heel on Raw, though, you know?
Right.
No matter what happened tonight, Kevin Owens is still the top heel on Raw, and we're walking into Raw with a babyface champion. So maybe he's not in such a bad position as we thought.
This could work out pretty good for Kevin. when you think about it.
Unless Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre go after Roman Reigns, which is possible too. Because Dolph Ziggler lost the Intercontinental title to Seth Rollins tonight.
But they have another pay-per-view, right? They got to finish their trilogy.
They do?
Of course, because I know you don't want to see that, so you have to see that.
I mean, they had an Iron Man match last pay-per-view. This pay-per-view, they wrestled for like nearly 30 minutes again. We got to see these guys wrestle some more? Yeah?
At least a tag. You're definitely getting a tag, but I feel like they'll save that for Raw, and then you're going to get the singles match. Because he's going to get a rematch, right? The title changed hands. He's going to get a rematch. Hell in a Cell's like in 3 weeks.
Well, that's not something I really want to see. Hell in a Cell's in 3 weeks?
4 weeks, actually, but whatever. This
Wow.
Raw and SmackDown, like, it's not going to be anything special.
Derek John says Kevin Owens is going to face John Cena in the Australia show. I can't imagine that's going to be much of a match after seeing tonight. I figure Cena will probably beat Kevin Owens in 2 minutes on that big Australia show, which we saw tonight. Undertaker's going to wrestle Triple H last time ever.
The end of an era.
End of an era was the last time they wrestled, but now it's last time ever.
10 years ago.
When's that Australia card? October?
On a Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
October 8th or 7th. And I feel like the Sunday is the women's pay-per-view, no?
Like the day after the Australia card? I
Very
don't
possible. Or the week after. It's not too far behind.
They can't have women's match in Australia. It's not Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. No,
That's
I don't
gonna be
think
fun.
I don't think you're right about that. Nevertheless, we have the new Universal Champion, we have a new Intercontinental Champion, we have a new Raw Women's Champion. All of Raw's titles changed hands tonight except for the tag team titles. That's pretty big. Like, that's a pretty big change. They needed a change on Raw, and they got it. Whereas SmackDown, everything pretty much stays the same. AJ and Joe are going to continue to feud because it ended in disqualification. Nakamura beat Jeff Hardy. He's still the United States champion.
Charlotte's the new women's champion.
Charlotte is the new women's champion, and her and Becky Lynch have a thing going now because Charlotte won, and then Becky... what are you doing here?
What are you doing?
Why did I see... This is a video. Like, people can see you doing all these signs, AJ. I don't know.
Somebody's saying John has to be on the villain club. What's all that about?
Oh, my God. We'll get to that, AJ.
Lost my train of thought.
Yeah, somebody shoot
You're
him.
supposed to shoot him now, yeah.
Yeah, I should shoot him point blank range.
Remember, chocolate bullets.
Unbelievable. AJ causing trouble again.
Becky snapped.
Lost my train of thought here. I don't know. I don't even know what I was talking about.
Talking about Becky Lynch snapping.
That was great.
Becky Lynch attacked Charlotte after the match. She got mad. So I guess Becky Lynch is a heel now, and she's going to go after a babyface Charlotte Flair, which I think is a little bit odd. Like, isn't Charlotte a better heel than a babyface? Shouldn't Becky be the babyface here?
It should have been based off the crowd reaction, but I think they were expecting people to boo Becky. I don't know why they thought that. I mean, Charlotte, she wins all the time. I mean, no one likes that. Someone says she's like Miss Roman Reigns in the women's division, and I feel that's kind of correct.
Or Randy.
Yeah, she's
Randy,
like,
what the heck? Like,
she's pushed to the top. Charlotte is. She's really given a lot of big matches, big moments, and it's been like that her whole main roster career.
But she is really good, though. She's one of the best women wrestlers in all of WWE, so
yeah.
It is deserved.
She's one of the best of all time.
It's always her. That's the problem, I think.
Is that a problem?
Yeah, I think it is.
I mean, shouldn't it be always her?
I think people.
It was always her father. Like when her father was on top and he was the man, it was always Ric Flair. And that's just the way it was. I mean, Charlotte she's great. If it's not her, who? Asuka?
Yeah, but this started, it was
Where's
Becky's...
Asuka? Maybe Asuka's the one to take the title from Charlotte now. Maybe this is all building to what we want, Asuka's revenge. Where was Asuka tonight? Not booked.
But the resentment, I believe, comes from the fact that this was Becky's title shot, and then Charlotte out of nowhere comes in, and you're expected to be like, oh, well, Charlotte, like, we really like her. Like, no, she kind of just, like, snuck her way in there because she's always granted everything.
So what you're saying is maybe Charlotte is the heel despite the fact that Becky attacked her after the match.
Well, they should have done it that way, but they didn't. Maybe they'll change it. I don't know. But we'll wait and see on SmackDown.
Well, we'll see. Maybe Charlotte goes through Becky and then Asuka shows up and Asuka takes it from Charlotte. Because I think for Asuka to come back, she's going to need her revenge. Because Asuka, since losing to Charlotte at WrestleMania, has not been the same. She's not been able to get back to that main event level in the women's division like she was. I mean, she had those matches with Carmella, but she failed against Carmella. So it seems like Asuka's stuck in this weird spot, and you would think that she'd be booked on a show like SummerSlam, but she wasn't. So I think in order for Asuka to come back, she's going to have to beat Charlotte. And she's still not been champion on the main roster. Asuka still hasn't won the women's title.
It's tough. It's not easy. You got Ronda Rousey and you have Charlotte as champions. These are really tough champions to dethrone right here.
And we could be building towards Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte down the road at WrestleMania, which I think would be a very big match at Mania that could close a card at WrestleMania.
Well, they're clearly setting up Evolution, right? The women's pay-per-view. We're going to get Becky and Charlotte, I guess. I guess that's going to be a one-on-one match. Yeah,
Becky and Charlotte seems to be next, and Carmella, I think, is just going to get tossed by the wayside.
No, she's getting the title shot at Hell in a Cell, more than likely.
She'll get her rematch?
Right. Get that done and over with.
So Carmella and Charlotte before Becky and Charlotte?
Yeah, because that's going to be at the women's pay-per-view. You save that for the big one. Hell in a Cell is just whatever.
So that's what Charlotte's doing at the big women's pay-per-view in October? Like, I don't really think that makes sense.
Her against Becky? Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
When Alexa Bliss is wrestling Trish Stratus, Charlotte's just going to wrestle Becky?
Yeah.
When Ronda's going to wrestle Nikki Bella, Charlotte just wrestles Becky?
I think Charlotte versus Becky is a lot better match than Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey.
Not on paper. Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey's one time only. First time ever.
And how good is that going to be?
Charlotte,
like Alexa Bliss good?
Yeah, but so what, man? You're trying to sell tickets. You're just trying to get people to watch. Ronda versus Charlotte, or Ronda versus Nikki is exciting stuff. You got all the Total Bellas, Total Divas fans. You got everybody who knows Ronda. It's a big old match right there. I know a lot of people don't like the Bella Twins. You saw the Bella Twins tonight. And I take a lot of heat on Twitter at Dave Simon MMA because I'm a big defender of the Bella Twins. But like it or not, they're the biggest thing in the women's division. They are at the top of the card, and they're there for a reason. They're big stars. They have a big following. You think there's any other women in the division that could carry their own TV show? I don't. other than Ronda Rousey. And that's why Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey is the biggest match in the WWE women's division. It's the biggest match they could possibly do. Like it or not, it's the damn truth. John, you got anything? Go. I know you're mad about that. My brother agrees with me. You agree with me, don't you?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Do you agree with me?
Yeah, Bella's. Yeah, they're a good brand. And like, just for a
There's
bigger
nobody
matchup.
bigger. There's nobody bigger.
Yeah, Nikki Bella's pretty big. She was a long reign champion.
As far as fan base and people tuning in,
Nikki Bella's pretty big right now. Yeah, but like you said, going back to Charlotte, like for opponent for her, apparently Michelle McCool is training to go back to the ring.
yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I can see
Charlotte
that
versus
happen.
Michelle.
That could happen.
That's big.
For Taker's love.
Okay, Becky's turn on Charlotte was one of the biggest reactions of the whole pay-per-view. There's heat in that. There's money in that. People want to see that. And it's going to be the better wrestling match by far.
Yeah, but who cares? That's not what it's about.
It will be when you look at the highlights, and they're pretty much just going to show that match. And, like, wow, they'll show the stare down between Ronda and Nikki, and then barely any action because the action is going to suck.
Maybe not, though.
Maybe. What? How was that Alexa match? How was that?
Ronda and Nikki could spend a lot of time practicing their match, and they could pull off some amazing stuff. You wait and see. You'll be like, man, I can't believe that was the best match on the card. Fearless Nikki. She's fearless. She's not even scared of Ronda Rousey.
And yet they're hugging. Like, yeah, I'm really excited to see that match after tonight.
Is that match even happening, or is that just a rumor? We don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
No one knows. So, what was Randy Orton doing tonight? I want to address that. Like, what was the deal? Jeff Hardy gets beat up. He loses to Shinsuke. And then Randall.
Shake my hand.
I'm not shaking your hand. What are you, Randy Orton? What did you just do? What did you just do with your hand? I'm not shaking anybody who tries to shake my hand after they talk about Randy Orton. Randy Orton. What was Randy Orton doing out there? He just shows up, walks out. He's like, hey, I'm Randy Orton. Does nothing to Jeff Hardy after the match and then walks away. It was weird.
It's called an easy paycheck.
That's the easiest Randy paycheck. That's typical Randy. He probably gets a full appearance fee for that SummerSlam bit where he just walks to the ring and walks back.
And people are still talking about it. He does absolutely nothing.
I think it's just us. I think we're the only ones talking about it. I don't think anybody else really cares.
We mentioned, like, Jericho did the same thing. He would just come out, do nothing, and people were talking about it. People cared. It didn't really lead to much, but...
Well, it led to a Chris Jericho match. This is going to lead to a Randy Orton match against, I don't even know who. It seemed like Jeff Hardy was maybe... is he retiring? What's going on? Matt Hardy is gone. He's got an injury, and he might never come back. And Jeff, it seemed like he was maybe wanting to, say goodbye after that match. Did you notice that? It was a bit weird. Yeah. Jeff was kind of in the ring, clapping and, looking at the crowd, and it seemed like the crowd was kind of giving him an ovation, and it looked like a little bit of a farewell or something. I don't know. It was an odd moment, and the WWE quickly cut away to a promo video and didn't let Jeff Hardy have the moment on TV that I think he was probably having in the building. And WWE did that a couple of times. They did that with Jeff Hardy, and they did it again with Roman Reigns at the end of the card when I'm sure he was getting booed out of the building, and they just cut SummerSlam. They're like, yep, SummerSlam's over. Roman wins. They have to do that because the Brooklyn crowd was rough. They were chanting, you both suck at Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
It's pretty bad.
That was pretty good. Yeah. I like that. And I think they were chanting, feed me more at Braun Strowman, which is hilarious.
Crowd was great, I thought, tonight. Really energetic, into it, I thought, for most of the matches. And some matches maybe not so much, but it's a long show. It's not easy for everyone to be excited every second. And I think that's a big kudos to a lot of the matches. They really delivered then because it's tough. It's tough to get the people going after you see some good matches.
I suppose.
I find after you see AJ and Samoa Joe go through that personal war, and then for The Miz and Daniel Bryan to go out there and still get people to care, that's tough. That just shows how good that match was.
Yeah, but shouldn't the main event be capable of stealing the show? Like, isn't that on them to steal the show?
And did the main event steal the show?
No, that's what I'm
There
saying.
you go.
You know? We saw some good stuff on this pay-per-view, but overall, it wasn't the greatest card that we've ever seen.
Unfortunately not. Not the best SummerSlam by far. You know, some good moments, but probably not that many.
AJ, was it your favorite SummerSlam ever?
Best. No, to be honest, it was really good. Like I said, I enjoyed the last 3 fights.
Yeah.
A couple of the other ones that Johnny was talking about, but you know, maybe you guys are a little bit like too harsh on like the events.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of good wrestling. We've seen a lot, and I mean,
That was a good one.
yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of better SummerSlams in the past. This was all right. They had some good moments. It had some bad moments. Bryan and Miz was good. We can all agree on that. AJ and Joe was good, and the next one will be good. Roman and Brock, like, was it good? Like, was it a good match? I don't know. It was like,
It was the worst Roman Brock match ever, I think.
yeah, it wasn't very good. I don't think it was a very good match. I think Ronda and Alexa was interesting. It had its moments. I wouldn't say it was a great match.
What about the Red Devil guy there?
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor, yeah. AJ, you like the Demon, and that was the best part of the match. I think the entrance was longer than the match itself. Finn Balor coming out as the Demon. He hadn't done that in like 10 months. We were looking back. It was like October of 2017, the last time we'd seen the Demon, and I thought Finn was done with the makeup. Maybe WWE had given up on the gimmick, and he comes out fully dressed in the Demon for this squash match with Baron Corbin. Like, it wasn't a big match. Green Phantom was here. He hated his attire. He was like, why's that guy wrestling in that? In like a dress shirt, and yeah, it looked like he was going to a wedding. Dress shirt, dress pants, looked terrible. Baron Corbin. That match was not much of anything, and it shouldn't have been anything because, you know, who is Baron Corbin? This is Finn Balor we're talking about.
Yeah, but it's cool we got to see the Demon again. And fine, yeah, he squashed somebody. That's all you needed to see.
That's all it was. It was just like, hey, here's Finn Balor, he's awesome, and here's this guy, Baron Corbin. It feels like Corbin is treated like more than that on Raw, but at SummerSlam, he wasn't, you know? It's a little bit inconsistent.
It's unfortunate, but yeah, it's the way it goes, unfortunately, sometimes.
Watermelon Kid says Corbin looks like he's dressed for a job interview.
He didn't get it.
Yeah, he didn't get the job. Definitely fired. You're fired, Baron Corbin. Maybe he will be fired.
He looks like a magician.
He looks like a magician. So New Day became new tag team champions?
No, they DQ.
No, they lost, right?
No, they won by DQ.
The Hammers came into play.
Oh, they won by DQ. Right. They beat the tag team champions, but they didn't actually win the titles because the Bludgeon Brothers attacked them with the hammers. That's right. That's what happened. Such a long card, it's hard to remember every little detail. New Day won, but they didn't win the titles. I didn't think that match was much of anything. Obviously not that memorable. And the finish was pretty weak. Like, just, it's not going our way. Here come the hammers. It's like an ordinary SmackDown match.
I thought it was good action back and forth. It's just the finish was what dragged it down. It's just, you saw it was building, and then just suddenly, it's a DQ finish. And it's like, well, that sucks. That's the unfortunate part about it. But if the finish was actually something worthwhile, I think the match would be looked back on better.
Oh, well.
Yeah, well, it's not over yet, right?
Yeah. And that's what it seems like a lot with SummerSlam. A lot of these matches that we saw tonight, we'll probably wind up seeing at the next card, which will be Hell in a Cell 2018, September 16th in San Antonio, Texas. So that's the next one. September 16th, which is not that far away, right? You said 4 weeks. 1, 2, 3. It's like 3 weeks away, really.
Yeah, really, yeah.
I don't know, 4 weeks away, I guess. 4 episodes of Raw and SmackDown? Yeah, 4 episodes of Raw and SmackDown before Hell in a Cell. So we're 4 weeks away from this thing. And I think we're going to see a lot of the same matches again. I think we see Miz and Bryan again. I think we see Joe and AJ again.
Only so many could be in Hell in a Cell, though. I mean, you're going to see the matches, but they're not going to be inside Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but we're going to see a lot of these rematches. You said Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins we'll probably see again.
Yep.
Will we see Nakamura and Jeff Hardy again?
I feel like we're done with that.
So Nakamura versus who?
Well, that's a good question. He might not even be on the pay-per-view. You got to remember, not everyone makes these pay-per-views.
But AJ and Joe definitely will be against each other again.
Of course.
Miz and Bryan for sure.
As long as Daniel Bryan's not, leaving.
Who wrestles Roman Reigns at Hell in a Cell?
I would say Kevin.
Kevin Owens, not Braun Strowman. I think it's going to be Braun Strowman.
Braun, he doesn't have to. I mean, he can cash in whenever he wants, right? So
yeah, but I think he's going to want it as soon as he possibly can.
Then it should be tomorrow night.
So the rematch will go at Hell in a Cell. I think no matter what, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns is going down at Hell in a Cell.
Possibly. Wait and see.
Does Alexa Bliss get a rematch at Hell in a Cell against Ronda?
Wow.
I think she does. Why? I think we see it again. Because she's the champion in WWE, AJ. The champions always get a rematch. It's like in the gimmick, I think Alexa Ronda we see again at Hell in a Cell.
I just shoot on Raw, but...
Maybe you do it on Raw and do Alexa, Nia, Ronda at Hell in a Cell. Probably be a better match.
Again, not everyone's going to make Hell in a Cell, and I think they're going to save a lot of the women matches for Evolution, so...
You don't think Ronda wrestles at Hell in a Cell fresh off winning the Raw Women's title? What is she, Brock Lesnar?
Yeah. She is still a big deal where she doesn't wrestle all the time. It is kind of like a special occasion.
Yeah, on pay-per-views. She doesn't have to wrestle every Raw, but I think she should wrestle every pay-per-view, especially if she's going to be a champion.
How did you guys like her get-up there? Like her makeup and all that Japanese kind of...
Yeah,
it was her best look so far.
She looked pretty cool. She looked cool.
Best gear Ronda's so far, without question.
I found it kind of weird.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it. No, I don't know. It just seemed like it took away from her character that she's already built up, being in the UFC. I've seen her in her last fights that we watched together, and she came out like... She reminded me of the female version, obviously, of Roddy Piper. Mm-hmm. And tonight she came out like this weird, like Japanese, like, I don't know, some samurai from like way back. And it's just weird. It was just weird. Mind you, she fought like a champion, but her getup just didn't go with her character.
I don't know. I didn't hate it. AJ didn't like it. I didn't hate it.
Maybe they want to make her just kind of different from the way she was in MMA,
No, but you can't take away that because that's who she is. It's like
well, she still wears the shorts.
She does, but it's just like, I don't know. Brock Lesnar is the same in the UFC as he is in the WWE. He's completely nuts. But he's able to back up his, his fighting. He does it in, other than tonight that he lost. I mean, he still keeps that character. And I don't think Rousey should change her character because everybody knows who she is. She likes to break arms, and she almost did it again tonight.
It's not a bad point.
No, it's not bad. It feels like she goes out there and does what she wants kind of thing. Like you saw afterwards where she's like hugging and kissing her husband.
Yeah.
They just let her do whatever she wants. Doesn't matter about character.
Well, because the character is just who she is. She is Ronda Rousey. It's not a character. It's who she is.
So if she wants to dress up and, put makeup on, let her do it.
Yeah.
Kissing and everything, I'm sure pissed off Dana White.
Who cares what Dana thinks? Who cares what Dana thinks?
Oh, my God. AJ's just getting out of control. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. Any final thoughts here on SummerSlam? Any final questions or comments here? And we should read a couple of comments.
Got a bunch.
Acme Toon says, was the Elias segment a botch? I didn't get it. I don't think it was a botch. I think it was just bad.
Yeah, it just sucked.
Antonio Bam Bam wants Baron to get tossed around by Ronda Rousey tomorrow night. What matches will be inside the cell? Wally wants to know for Hell in a Cell. What matches would you make a cell match? Say you make two only.
AJ and Joe.
AJ and Joe would make sense. And I'd say Roman and Braun. AJ, Joe, Roman, Braun.
No women then.
Maybe Charlotte and Becky. Maybe. I don't know.
Charlotte's already done the Hell in a Cell. They could make that part of her gimmick. She's
maybe you do Ronda and Alexa in a Hell in a Cell.
No, the match would be too short. It'd be a waste of the cell.
It would be a cool gimmick. I don't know. Alex wants to know who's going to get called up from NXT. Expecting NXT call-ups?
Shayna Baszler?
Shayna Baszler would make sense. She just lost the NXT title to Kairi Sane. NXT TakeOver was amazing last night. A lot shorter and a lot more fun to watch than SummerSlam, that's for sure. Great matches. Ciampa and Gargano killed it. Ricochet and Adam Cole had a great match. The Mustache Mountain against those guys there. What are they? O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Very good match there. And Velveteen Dream EC3. Like, just a great card.
Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet I mentioned. Stop saying Ricochet.
Say it again.
Ricochet. 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 Joe Wells, wants us to know, will Braun cash in and win the title tomorrow night? I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be more shenanigans, unfortunately.
I think he'll get stopped.
I think we need raw moments. There's too much of a lack of raw moments. Whenever they show raw moments, it's always from like the Attitude Era, like the milk truck and stuff like that. They need to keep that up, like bring back the raw moments and like stuff like that, like title changes, big matches. They always go,
Yeah,
it
it would
will
be
have your
cool.
match, but at the pay per view, like no, have it on Raw. Do it, for the audience that's there.
Yeah, it would be cool to have that on Raw, but because they don't do it that often, that's why I'm kind of thinking that they won't. But it would be awesome if they did. I wouldn't be mad about it.
The fact that they snuck away with Roman as champion, and it seemed like they did that obviously, I don't think they're just going to have Roman lose the championship that quickly. The fact that they were able to do this, I think they have long-term plans for Roman. He's not just going to lose the championship really quickly. At least, in my opinion, Survivor Series.
Yeah, I feel like they got away with giving Roman the title, and they're not going to let it go for a little while. I think they're going to let Roman hold the title for at least a couple of months. He's never really had a long title reign, and it's coming at some point. Brock's gone. We may have just entered the Roman Reigns era.
It's actually better for him to hold the title long now because we're not really close to WrestleMania. So let him hold it and then lose it close to WrestleMania.
Yeah, like lose it at the Rumble or December or whatever. Something like that.
Yeah, let's hope.
I think he holds on to it through the winter, and then maybe towards the end of the winter, he'll lose it. Around Christmas time, he loses.
Well, the thing is, like, there's only so long you can go with Braun not cashing in, right? So that's why I feel Survivor Series.
When's that next Money in the Bank?
It's in June?
Yeah, so it's quite a while.
Yeah, but still, like,
he has till WrestleMania, after WrestleMania.
Why would Braun wait that long, though? I mean,
I don't know. He's scared of Roman Reigns.
yeah, right.
He's a big dog. It's his yard. He just beat Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
You'd be scared. You would be.
That graphic, yeah. You see that huge dog graphic? That was awesome.
Yeah. The big dog is the new Universal Champion. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Wally. I know it's super late in Ireland. By the way, Wally, I'm on like Series 3 of Love Hate. It's very good. Very good show. I'm enjoying it. Antoinette, Ray Cruz, Acme Tunes, Joe Wells, Captain Baba out there. I saw DJ Derek John, JJ Mondesi, Watermelon Kid. A lot of people to name here. AJ Franco, 316. Antonio Bam Bam out in Australia. Derek John. I mean, there's so many people that tuned in tonight. Really pleased that everybody checked in with us on the SummerSlam post show. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. You can follow this guy over here, AJ, at Danny Bruck on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow this guy over here, the big man, Johnny North, at North Genesis on Twitter, at Genesis Johnny North on Instagram. And you can follow my brother on the street. If you see him, just follow him. Don't get too close, but you follow him and then tell me where he is. Let me know what he's up to.
Stalk your brother. Yeah, okay.
Don't stalk him. Watch him for me. Keep an eye on him. You never know what trouble he might be getting into. Yeah, keep a distance, though. But you can't follow him on any kind of Instagram or whatever, so you have to stick to stalking, I guess.
No,
They can't cyber stalk you. They have to stalk you in real life.
no eye contact, right?
Leave it to Johnny North to end it on a confusing moment. So thank you, everybody, for watching
Such an
and
AJ
listening. AJ, I'm Dave, Johnny, Ben, the Simon Brothers, Full Effect, and Big Johnny. Big Johnny's here. And AJ making a guest appearance on Wrestling Uncensored. Thank you,
This
AJ.
is twice now. This is my second time.
Thank you, AJ. It's good to see you.
It's actually pretty fun. I love this show, man. Yeah, I really start to enjoy wrestling.
There you go. AJ's becoming a wrestling fan, and I know we're getting a lot of people watching wrestling as well. Shout out to Muscles Marco. Wally's doing all sorts of shout-outs from Ireland. He's shouting out NDG. He's shouting out the boys at PJ's. He's doing all sorts of crazy shout-outs. Wally's off the hook.
No, and let Wally know this. I found today, actually, Wally, believe it or not, I'm going to take every picture of a poutine I can get. But today I got the best one for you. I found a poutine made out of ice cream. And I'm gonna,
Okay,
I'm gonna
all right.
That sounds disgusting. What the?
We're cutting the show off. Thanks, everybody. AJ's done. This has been the Wrestling Uncensored SummerSlam post show. Yeah.